I'm going to show how to migrate data from Azure SQL database into Fabric Warehouse. Again, when we are moving data from one cloud database to another cloud database, it makes sense to run Omni Loader in the cloud. So I'm running Omni Loader in Azure Virtual Machine. So how do we get started? I'm going to click New Project, Full Table Copy here, and select Azure SQL Database. I'm going to select one of our databases here, go into the Fabric Warehouse, again, pre-select connection information, and complete the project. From this point on, it's just like anything else. I can click Tables, copy everything over. Actually, let's just copy 3 billion records. We won't wait for everything to complete, but we'll see how the process goes. I'm going to click Load Tables here. And you'll see we're actually now going to create the tables. Actually, that's done. Now we are already importing data. So we have started reading a billion record table. So it's going to take a few seconds until SQL Server Azure SQL starts serving it, and it has started. Okay, so we are moving 2.9, 3.7, over 4 million records per second already, and we have already at 6 million records per second. Because this number on the right is actually an average, so it includes the time to connect to source and target databases. It includes the time for the source database to start serving data. We are already at 8 million records per second. We are moving some between, actually the average might be, it's already done. So now the transfer has fallen until the source database starts serving more slices, but it's going to pick up really soon. So we have seen some 10 megabit, right? And the average number of records per second, it's still 8 million records per second going from Azure SQL to Fabric Warehouse. And the number is still growing. You can see that we are copying a lot of these slices in parallel as this table is being completed. You can see these 60 slices here. We have already started processing another billion record table. So we have already moved over 1 billion records here, right? So if I had many smaller tables, then this would just fly, right? As we now have these huge tables, it takes a bit longer to process any of them, right? But that longer still means we have copied 1.1 billion records in 2 minutes. Okay, so now the table that has been completed has started being ingested into Fabric Warehouse, which of course does not block the other tables from being processed. So the second billion record table is already halfway done. So we're just gonna wait a little bit more just to see how does it work when the somewhat smaller, and by smaller I mean let's say 100 million record tables come, right? Okay, we are now at almost 10 million records per second. Yeah, so now as the second billion record table is being close to completion, we have started processing the third table, which has 100 million records now. So now when this billion record table starts to really finish its slices, you're just going to see other tables starting to be processed much, much faster. And that's the whole process. Regardless of the size of your source database, Omni Loader will just make it happen because it is fully self-tuning. It's extremely performant. And that's the way this works.